Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 5th of August, 2019. We're going to reflect on Matthew 14, 13 to 21. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a deserted place by himself. But when the crowds heard it, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them and cured their sick. When it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a deserted place, and the hour is now late. Send the crowds away, so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves." And Jesus said to them, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." And they replied, "We have nothing here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. And Jesus said, "Bring them here to me." Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. And all ate and were filled. And they took up what was left over of the broken pieces, 12 baskets full. And those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. The Gospel of the Lord. When reading today's passage, I was reminded of something that Prophet Isaiah had said a long time ago. It seems confusing, but when seen in the light of today's story, it makes sense. Isaiah said, "Come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters, and you who have no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without cost. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. You who have no money, come buy and eat." That sounds like a paradox. How do you buy anything without money? But that's exactly the point. What Jesus offers cannot be bought. In our story today, he feeds thousands of people food, and they don't have to pay for it because Jesus provides. There are no limitations on what they can eat either, because it is available in plenty, and when they're done eating to their heart's content, there is still plenty left over. This story has an even greater significance when you realize that this is true of our salvation. Some of us imagine, like the Pharisees did, that we can work our way into heaven. But as Paul says, it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. Ephesians 2, 8-9. No matter how rich we might imagine we are, in truth, we are all paupers, spiritually bankrupt people. God, however, provides us with the bread of life at no cost. And he also provides waters in plural. He says to those who are thirsty, "Come to the waters." Water is needed for life. In its plural form, it indicates an abundance of it. But then he adds even to this, offering wine and milk, which serve to cheer, nourish, and strengthen. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus tells the parable of a landowner who has a bountiful crop. See yesterday's reflection. Delighted, he decides to build barns to store his grain while he plans an early retirement when he would spend time eating, drinking, and making merry. God told him that his life was going to end that night. Who were the barns he was building for? We spend so much of time and effort on securing our happiness here in this life while neglecting what follows in the next. This is remarkably short-sighted and foolish. Let us go to Jesus today for the eternal future that he provides. Your Father, Jesus said, has been pleased to give you the kingdom. You who have no money, come, buy, and eat. God bless you.